Hey guys, it's Mr. Leonidas here. Hope you're doing well. Now I'm a big fan of wearing Boonie hats outdoors. They provide excellent coverage against the sun and rain, but most Boonie hats come with a drawback. They constrict your field of vision. Now this is a newer one I recently picked up. It's made of Kryptek Highlander material. Really nice Boonie hat, but the brim of it is a bit too long, and it's very wide, and it's sort of floppy, and it's constricting my field of view. So in this video I'm going to show you just a very simple modification you can make to a Boonie hat to increase your field of view, but also retain the properties that a Boonie hat gives you, such as that overall coverage around your head. So check it out. To start on this project, I want to first and foremost mention that I saw this idea from a video the theHighDesertPioneer made. So I'll have a link to that video in the description box. Now, when you want to get started on this, I highly suggest using a really nice sewing machine. If you can't, you can definitely do this by hand, but you're going to get cleaner and faster results with a sewing machine. Other such items to have are you might want to have a ruler, a really good pair of scissors, a seam ripper. I always have a knife on me for these kind of projects, some off color of a Sharpie marker, and I always have some type of a lighter when I do my sewing project. The basic idea behind this project is to simply shorten the brim all the way around the Boonie hat. Now the first thing I did was actually get the adjustable carry strap for this hat. I actually taped it down so it's not going to get in my way while I work on the hat itself. So the first thing you want to do is there's this outer layer covering the tip of the brim, sort of giving it a good crisp and clean look overall for the hat. Now that's going to need to be removed because we're going to reuse this. So what I highly recommend is taking like a seam ripper here. You could use a knife, but this is going to be a whole lot easier, and just start to work away your seam. Now what you do with this is, if you're like me and you get excited about these projects and you want to get them done fairly quickly, you can start working on the seam. It's already starting to get quite loose, and then you work underneath it and basically just start tearing away at it, and just kind of one at a time, and you start getting more and more leverage, and then you can even take, at this point, your knife and start working down just like that, and really simple process, and work your way down the entire way of the hat, and then you have to get the reverse side as well. So really not too difficult part. Now we're at the point where the outer covering for the brim, that's removed, and then there is the bare edges. So this is where the project can be different for anyone. This is where you decide your overall length of how far your brim is going to go out. Now I've decided I'm going to go ahead and cut off about 3/4 of an inch all the way around. So that's why I have my ruler here. And the measurements are looking like 3/4 in is roughly the third row of stitching at that point. So what I'm going to take is I have a red Sharpie here, and I'm going to start at that third row. I'm just going to mark it a few places around the hat, and there's really no worries about that either, because that's going to get covered up quite easily. Make sure I'm on target there, and there won't be a problem when you're the hat is finalized. Okay, now that it's marked, go and take my scissors, and that's when a really good sharp pair of scissors comes in handy, and I'm just going to work my way around the hat. And this is where I'd say take your time, go nice and easy, follow the lines around, because you can't get hat back really. I mean, you could, but I'd rather not. And that's all I'm going to do, is work my way around the entire length of the hat until I've trimmed off 3/4 of an inch. So here's the Boonie hat now that it's been cut down to my desired brim length. And the last thing to do to make this finished product is the outer covering needs to be stitched back on. So what I'm going to do with that is basically just run the sewing machine on it. But this now has to be shortened slightly, because the outer circumference of the brim has is also been decreased. So that's just something you have to kind of work with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these clamps and just clamp that on, and then I'm going to start the sewing machine and basically just work my way down and then cut it off to where I need it. And just this will just be kind of probably the most tricky part of modifying this hat. So I'll just get started on that. Just, you know, just one of those things, just take your time. But it's really not that bad. Just kind of making sure you got it on there nice and crisp. You could use more of the clips if you like, but I'm just kind of one of those people, I just kind of work with it as I go. About done here, but there's that extra material. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and cut it and figure out how I'm going to overlap it to complete that outer layer. Okay, so obviously I'm going to have to cut off a chunk on each side, about 1 inch roughly, just so that seam is covered up. Okay, and looks like I got it. So now I just gotta stitch that up. Wrapped it up, except for just gotta clean up a few things. And this is where a small pair of scissors and a lighter come in handy, because clip those, and then a lot of extra fray. Just be real careful when you're going over it, and that cleans up a lot of that extra junk and gives everything a good, nice, crisp, and finished overall look, which I do like, and most everyone else does too. So here's a look at the finished Boonie cap modifications. I'm really happy with it. It turned out really well. My field of vision is greatly increased, but also I'm still getting some good coverage and protection. Right now it's really sunny out, so I'm getting coverage against the sun. My face is fairly well shaded, and also added some Velcro loop backing, and just get a close-up of that. And that was a very simple modification, just simply stitched it on the front of the Boonie hat, and it turned out really well. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. You can comment. I'd love to read it and respond. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do if you can. All right, it's Mr. Leonidas signing out. Have a good one.